Well, it's been a while. I haven't done a video for a while because it's just been so cold in the cave. But it's warmed up a little bit tonight. So I decided I'd build a quick kit. Now this has got to be a dangerous one. This is a Tesla coil. Although it's not very big. Hopefully I won't get killed by it. So this was about £4 or £5, I think, from it was either Banggood or eBay, who knows. So it looks like it's quite a simple design. There's the Tesla coil, or indeed a coil there. A couple of heat sinks, a wire, a audio lead, because we can plug this into something, although that scares me. I'm not plugging it into my phone, but we'll find some audio source to send a signal to it, and apparently it reacts to the music, so that should be very exciting. So what else do we get in it? Well, just a few resistors there. Looks like a capacitor, the body, a barrel connector, audio in. So we've got two different transistors, capacitor, 4 resistors, 2 LEDs, and some standoffs. Okay. I don't have any instructions for this, and there weren't any on the listing, so who knows how this is going to go. Well, let's see whether we can get any details from this. It looks like we can screw these devices into their heat sinks. It looks like that's the way that will work. That goes in there. That goes in there. Now I've got to work out what these say. Alright, so first of all, let's get my component tester as we normally do, and let's just go through these quickly. Let's hope I can work this out quick. So that is definitely 10. That's 2. That should be 2. Should be a similar value. 2, excellent. All right, so now which is the best way to do it? I'll do them all on the top. So this was a 2K here, and this is a 2K. Get those done. By far the easiest. Now note my new soldering device, which would be excellent if I could find my solder. As Big Clive would say, one moment please. Ta-da! Well, I've got a new soldering iron, and I'd jigged everything in the cave, and I'd put this in a different place from where it always has been. But there you go. This soldering iron has got a solder sucker built into it as well, which is quite good. Well, a fume extractor put into it, so it's quite nice. It's a Yahua 968DA, and it's also got a hot air blower like so, and it will suck the bad smells away from the solder as we're using it. But it does make a bit of a noise, so when it's on, I'm not going to be able to talk, which probably you will all enjoy intensely. But quite often when I'm soldering, I speed it up anyway. So let's just wait for this to warm up, and let's continue. There you go. So I'll just put the vacuum on. Don't normally. Oh, look at all that smoke now, but if we've got that going, it does cut out a lot of the smoke. think I've got it running at the wrong temperature, so just that's better. I think I'm going to have to lose that noise while I'm making stuff for the channel though. Okay, so that's those done. Let's just clip them off. And I'll put in the 10Ks. Okay, so let's just check what's on these. So this one is a HF NF70, hopefully. Right, so that's the bottom one. So that's going to go in here. So let's do that first. That goes through okay. So I think I probably should put heatsink paste on here, but I'm not going to bother. Let's find a screwdriver. I think what I'll do is pop these through first and then tighten it up afterwards. This is going to take a bit more heating up, no doubt. In fact, I'll put that one on there as well, just to keep it all level. Okay. I'm not going to be as fortunate with this one, so I'm going to have to just put this one in. Oh, let's just check it. This is a BD243 and then BD243 in the top, so that's fine. So I'll have to tighten this one up beforehand. Check it goes in. Yeah. UF microfarad capacitor there, so is that 10? Let's just check. 10 UF, okay. So the minus is the short lead and the plus should be on there somewhere. Now I have this thing, not really sure what this is. Might be a choke, might be a big capacitor. 105J, and there's 105 on there, so that goes into this little slot there. Doesn't have any polarization on it as far as I can see, so it can just go in either way. So after a bit of investigation on the interwebs, I have worked out what happens with this. So this coil just goes into these two holes here, and then this piece of wire wraps once, that's what that bit says there, 1 turn, 1 T, wraps round the whole of this. One of the things I want to do to start with is just tin the edge of this wire first. So I'm going to burn off the enamel on it. Hopefully that will do that. And then this one I'm going to do on the inside. So I'm going to burn that off just about there. I hope that will do me what I need to do. And clip that off. And I think I need to flux. Go and find my flux pen. I'm just going to clean this a little bit with something. Maybe just a little bit of sandpaper's all I've got. I just gently clean that off. Hopefully that's worked. Do the same this end. Now I hope that with a bit of flux as well, let's get something to put this on. Oh look, how about a DS screen? Haha. I hope I can just add a bit of flux to the end of that and to the end of that. Now I hope that that will now take the solder out nicely. I don't need that now. Get that out of the way. I'm hoping that this will take this solder nicely now. I'm not at all sure though. Well, let's hope. And I'll do the same for this one. Nope. Can but hope. I think that has taken some solder. Who can tell? Now what I thought I would do with the rest of this is put a little bit of this in here as a connecting post maybe, and try and do that, solder that in first, and then I'll be able to connect the other one to it. I don't know how well that's going to work. I think it might be better if I use a header like this. So I'm not going to use that one because that's for the other bit of the board. So I hope if I do the same thing, if I use the flux pen and that bit there, pop him in there and blue tack him down. A bit wobbly, but I can straighten him out. So I'm hoping now that if I put a blob of solder on that bit, let's give myself a bit of flux again. And pop him in there. Right, yeah, that's taken solder, that's good. And I'm just going to now get myself there's my glue gun. I have to do this reasonably quickly. That's going to go in there. It's only that middle one I need to get, so let's put something around the outside. I'll just put a big blob around, really. It won't go in the little hole. Pop that in there. And then in it goes. So now this has got to go in one side. Turn around the coil, whoops, turn around the coil once and go in the other side. So this should be quite, well, this should be less fiddly than the other one. Definitely. So it's got to go in there. Let me salt tin that first. Okay. So it will need to go in there. Round once, that way, and into there. So hopefully about there should do it. There we go. And then this jumper, not sure what that's for, but that jumper needs to just go in there. So right. So I'm hoping, as long as I haven't busted that other bit of wire off, that is all I need to do now. There's these little standoffs as well, so let's put the little standoffs on. That's it. Okay, so I believe that is everything working. What I'm not sure of is there's a little empty track there, which I'm going to have, the empty hole there that I'm going to have to work out. Not sure what's going on there. Maybe that's, well, no idea what that's for. But the rest of it seems to be okay. So the next bit to do is to power this up and run a mile probably and see what happens. So I did power this up and I couldn't get anything working with it. Nothing seemed to happen. I then changed to a different power supply, not my normal bench power supply, but to this power supply, which is the same thing I use for my TFT screens and my LCD displays. So that's I think that's 2-3 amp out of there, so I get a better power out of this. But what I also discovered was the one end of this coil I had connected to the hole that was in the middle of the board, and that's not right. In fact, I'd connected both ends of the coil, I think, at some point, and that wasn't going to work because it needs this little coil to stick out the top, which is where the electricity comes from. So the small cable at the bottom, instead of connecting it to the middle hole, I connected it to this little jumper pin that I put on the outside, and then the other end of the big coil just sticks out the side. I read somewhere else as well that this other winding, I don't know whether that's the primary or the secondary, I don't know, but that shouldn't touch the inner coil. I mean, it is insulated, but they said it shouldn't touch it. But anyway, let's just plug it in and I will show you. I'm plugging this in first. I'm a little bit frightened of this, don't know what electricity is in there, probably a lot of it. So I wasn't sure how this was going to happen, so I'll plug in this power supply, not touching it, and you might just see a little bit of blue. Let me show it you from a different angle. When I zoom in, and it looks and I've got the black behind it, you can actually see it there. Now that's not very big, it's about 2 or 3 millimeters, that plasma spark, but it looks better when it's zoomed in as opposed to when it's there. So there it is. It's not making a noise or anything, you can't hear any noise. That's it. I was expecting it to be more dramatic than that, but that's how it is. In fact, I do have a little cigarette lighter, not that I smoke, but I have a little cigarette lighter that does a cross of these two little plasmas or whatever they are, and it allows you to light things in it. But anyway, there it is, a mini Tesla coil kit